Hey everyone, welcome to Logan Smosh Pick. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to do part 2 of my CD collection. In part 1, we went over my CD collection with the titles from A through M. This time we're going to do N through Z, finish things up. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, there will be a card in the upper right hand corner of your screen. So go watch part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. Also, I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Marty. I heard you were looking forward to this video, so this video is dedicated to you, buddy. Okay, so just like in part 1, we're going to do things in a similar fashion. I'm going to show you each album, then give you some basic information about it, including the release date, the album number in that band's discography, the amount of sales each album experienced, the singles off each album, and the entire track listing of each album. Then I will tell you my favorite and least favorite song off each album that I show you. Keep in mind, just like in part 1, my favorite and least favorite song from each album are completely correlated to the context of that album. In other words, my favorite song doesn't necessarily mean I adore the song. Likewise, my least favorite song doesn't mean I detest the song either. So with that out of the way, why don't we get started? First up, we got Nickelback, Feed the Machine. A lot of people would rather get a root canal than listen to Nickelback. I never understood all the hate surrounding Nickelback. I don't mind them. They're not my go-to band. I mean, when I want to listen to music, Nickelback isn't the first band I pick, but still, I like them. If you disagree, you're entitled to your own opinion. Anyway, Feed the Machine was released in 2017. It was Nickelback's 9th studio album overall. It went less than gold in the US, meaning it sold less than 500,000 copies. Had the singles Feed the Machine, Song on Fire, and Must Be Nice. The full track listing is Feed the Machine, Coin for the Ferryman, Song on Fire, Must Be Nice, After the Rain, For the River, Home, The Betrayal, Act 3, Silent Majority, Every Time We're Together, and The Betrayal, Act 1. I don't know why they put Betrayal, Act 1 after Part 3. Makes no sense. My favorite song off Feed the Machine happens to be Home, and for my least favorite song, I picked For the River. So that's Feed the Machine. Next up, we got Nickelback, No Fixed Address, the predecessor to Feed the Machine. It was released in 2014, their 8th studio album, obviously. Once again, it didn't make it to gold in the US. Had the singles Edge of a Revolution, What Are You Waiting For, Million Miles an Hour, Miss You, She Keeps Me Up, Satellite, Get 'Em Up, and Make Me Believe Again. Bunch of singles. The full track listing goes Million Miles an Hour, Edge of a Revolution, What Are You Waiting For, She Keeps Me Up, Make Me Believe Again, Satellite, Get 'Em Up, The Hammer's Coming Down, Miss You, Got Me Running Round, Feet Flo Rida, and Sister Sin. So out of those, for my favorite song, I went with The Hammer's Coming Down, and my least favorite song is Miss You. Okay, next up, we got The Best of Nickelback, Volume 1. This is a greatest hits album released back in 2013. It consists of various songs from some of their other albums, like Silver Side Up, The Long Road, All the Right Reasons, Dark Horse, and Here and Now. A lot of songs to choose from. It, once again, sold less than 500,000 copies in the US. Track listing was Photograph, How You Remind Me, Burn It to the Ground, Rockstar, Saving Me, Figured You Out, Too Bad, If Today Was Your Last Day, Far Away, Feeling Way Too Damn Good, Someday, Never Again, Lullaby, If Everyone Cared, Gotta Be Somebody, When We Stand Together, Animals, This Afternoon, and Something in Your Mouth. So, from that list of songs, as my favorite, I picked If Everyone Cared, and my least favorite, I went with Lullaby. Okay, that's the last Nickelback album. Thank God, some of you are probably saying right now. Next up, we got Nirvana, Nevermind. Iconic image of the baby swimming toward the dollar bill. Let that sink in. It was, of course, released in 1991. It was Nirvana's second studio album. It went diamond in the US. Pretty impressive feat there. Doesn't happen to most albums. Had the singles Smells Like Teen Spirit, On a Plane, Come As You Are, Lithium, and In Bloom. Fans, any diehard Nirvana fan would know instantly. The full track listing is as follows: Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom, Come As You Are, Breed, Lithium, Polly, Territorial Pissings, Train You, Lounge Act, Stay Away, On a Plane, and Something in the Way. So out of those, my favorite song happens to be On a Plane, and my least favorite song, Territorial Pissings. Okay, so what do we have next? Let's keep it going. How about Come Clean by Puddled Mudd? This album came out in 2001. It was the debut studio album for Puddled Mudd, our first introduction to them. It went triple platinum in the US. Had the singles Control, Blurry, Drift and Die, and She Hates Me. First Puddled Mudd song I actually listened to. I remember it very clearly. The full track listing goes Control, Drift and Die, Out of My Head, Nobody Told Me, Blurry, She Hates Me, Bring Me Down, Never Change, Basement, Said, and Bleep It All Away. So my favorite song off Come Clean is Said, and my least favorite song, Drift and Die. Okay, so what do we have next? Probably the biggest star power album in my collection. Queen, Greatest Hits, 1 and 2. I'll go over each one separately. So, the first Greatest Hits was released in 1981, a compilation album, recorded from 1974 to 1980. It went 8 times platinum in America. The track listing for the first disc was Bohemian Rhapsody, Another One Bites the Dust, Killer Queen, Fat Bottom Girls, Bicycle Race, You're My Best Friend, Don't Stop Me Now, Save Me, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Somebody to Love, Now I'm Here, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, Play the Game, Flash, 7 Seas of Rye, We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions to finish things off. So out of those 17 songs, my favorite song is You're My Best Friend, and my least favorite song, Fat Bottom Girl. Honestly, I'll be happy if I never hear this song again. I've had enough of Fat Bottom Girls. if this band is the queen of anything, they're definitely the queen of overplayed songs. I mean, radio stations seem to be obsessed with Queen songs. Absolutely obsessed. I used to like those songs, but now they make me cringe. I've heard them way too many times. Can't listen to them anymore, I'm sorry. Just can't. So, how about Greatest Hits 2? It came out in 1991 originally in the UK. It took 20 years to get released in the US. We had to wait until 2011. Also a compilation album, this time recorded from 1981 to 1990. It did even better, went 13 times platinum in the UK, where it was first released. Freddie's death probably had something to do with that, I'd imagine. The track listing goes A Kind of Magic, Under Pressure, Radio Gaga, I Want It All, I Want to Break Free, Innuendo, It's a Hard Life, Breakthrough, Who Wants to Live Forever, Headlong, The Miracle, I'm Going Slightly Mad, The Invisible Man, Hammer to Fall, Friends Will Be Friends, The Show Must Go On, and One Vision. I actually prefer the track listing on the Greatest Hits 2 quite a bit over 1. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, my favorite song off the second disc is Headlong, and my least favorite song is Under Pressure. Again, heard it too many times. Still a good song, just wears down on you when you've heard a song too many times. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Alright, let's keep it going. This one, unfortunately, I lost the case to it. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stadium Arcadium, The Gold Shines Through. This magnificent album was released in 2006, the 9th studio album, and hottest yet for the Chili Peppers, if you ask me. It went 3 times platinum in the US, had the singles Dana, California, Tell Me Baby, Snow, Heyo, Desecration Smile, and Hump Day Bump. The full track listing goes, get it turned around here, Desecration Smile, Tell Me Baby, Hard to Concentrate, 21st Century, She Looks to Me, Ready Made, Make You Feel Better, If, Animal Bar, So Much, I, Storm in a Teacup, We Believe, Turn It Again, and Death of a Martian. Chili Peppers fans will recognize there were actually 2 different discs linked to Stadium Arcadium. A Mars version and a Jupiter version, each with their own unique track listing. This is the Mars version. Shortly after I picked up this version of the album, the Mars version, I went back and I listened to the Jupiter version as well. I had to. The track listing on the Jupiter album version is Dana, California, Snow, Heyo, Charlie, Stadium Arcadium, Hump Day Bump, She's Only 18, Slow Cheetah, Torture Me, Strip My Mind, Especially in Michigan, Warlocks, Come On Girl, Wet Sand, Hey. And that's it. I don't know if this is cheating or not. It might be. I took the Mars version and the Jupiter version and squished them together. I just decided to pick my favorite and least favorite song off that cluster of songs, both the Mars and Jupiter version put together, and my favorite song and least favorite song both come off the Jupiter version of the album. So, sorry if that bothers anyone. My favorite song off there is Strip My Mind, and my least favorite song is Especially in Michigan. I'm going to check my subscriber number tomorrow and see how many people from Michigan have unsubscribed from my channel. But if you live in any other state besides Michigan or a different country and you haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate that. Love to have you here. So let's move on to Saint Asonia, their self-titled album. It came out in 2015, their debut album. Like I said, our first taste of Saint Asonia. I couldn't find any information about how well this album sold, but it did reach number 29 on the US Billboard 200 chart, so that's something to be proud of. Had the singles Better Place and Let Me Live My Life. The full track listing is Better Place, Blow Me Wide Open, Let Me Live My Life, Even Though I Say, Fairy Tale, King of Nothing, Waste My Time, Dying Slowly, Trying to Catch Up with the World, Happy Tragedy, and Leaving Minnesota. So my favorite song off Saint Asonia's first album would have to be Happy Tragedy. And my least favorite song, I'm going to go with Trying to Catch Up with the World. Let's keep it going. Next up we got Skillet, Comatose. Needs no introduction. It came out in 2006, Skillet's sixth studio album overall. Surprisingly, went less than gold in America. That surprised me. I thought this album would perform a lot better. Absolutely great album. Had the singles Rebirthing, Whispers in the Dark, The Last Night, The Older I Get, Comatose, Live Free or Let Me Die, Those Nights, and Better Than Drugs. Packed full of singles. Full track listing goes Rebirthing, The Last Night, Yours to Hold, Better Than Drugs, Comatose, The Older I Get, Those Nights, Falling Inside the Black, Say Goodbye, Whispers in the Dark, and Looking for Angels. My favorite song off Comatose would be the very last track, Looking for Angels, and my least favorite song, Say Goodbye. Okay, what do we got next? How about standalone disc, The All American Rejects, Move Along. It was released in 2005. Their second studio album went duh times platinum in the US. Duh means two in French. You learn something new every day. Contained the singles Dirty Little Secret, Move Along, and It Ends Tonight, all classic tunes. The full track listing is Dirty Little Secret, Stab My Back, Move Along, It Ends Tonight, Change Your Mind, Night Drive, 11:11 p.m., Dance Inside, Top of the World, Straight Jacket Feeling, I'm Waiting, and Can't Take It. From that list, I selected Change Your Mind as my absolute favorite. As for my least favorite song, I picked Straight Jacket Feeling. Okay, next up, we got 3 Days Grace, Life Starts Now. Got a bunch of 3 Days Grace albums to show you. Got to show you my shirt too. I'm a huge 3 Days Grace fan. Probably my favorite modern rock band of the 21st century. 3 Days Grace rules my life. This album does exactly what it says. Life starts now. It makes you start living for real. If you see someone without a pulse, you don't need a defibrillator. Just play this album. They'll come back to life. All jokes aside, Life Starts Now was released in 2009, 3 Days Grace's third studio album, and my personal favorite. A lot of fans prefer 1X. I would put Life Starts Now slightly above 1X. Still love both albums though. This album went platinum in America, contained the singles Break, The Good Life, World So Cold, and Lost in You. The full track listing would be Bitter Taste, Break, World So Cold, Lost in You, The Good Life, No More, Last to Know, Someone Who Cares, Bully, Without You, Going Down, and finally Life Starts Now, the title track. From those, I picked Bully as my favorite 3 Days Grace song off Life Starts Now, and as for my least favorite song, I went with The Good Life. Next up, we got 3 Days Grace, 1X. It was released in 2006, 3 Days Grace's second album. It went triple platinum in the US. Had the singles Animal I've Become, Pain, Never Too Late, and Riot. Full track listing goes It's All Over, Pain, Animal I Have Become, Never Too Late, On My Own, Riot, Get Out Alive, Let It Die, Over and Over, Time of Dying, Gone Forever, and 1X. Stellar track listing there. Off 1X, my favorite song has to be Let It Die, and my least favorite song, On My Own. Next, we got half of an album case. 3 Days Grace's self-titled album, their very first album. I don't know what happened to the front of this case. Just have the back now. Oh well. So, off the self-titled album, it was released in 2003. Obviously their first official album. Went double platinum in America. Contained the singles I Hate Everything About You, Just Like You, and Home. The full track listing goes Burn, Just Like You, I Hate Everything About You, Home, Scared, Let You Down, Now or Never, Born Like This, Drown, Wake Up, Take Me Under, and Overrated. So, my favorite song off here would be Wake Up. If you haven't heard this song, you need a wake-up call. And my least favorite song is Overrated. At least it's honest. Next up, we got yet another 3 Days Grace album, Transit of Venus. This album came out in 2012. It was 3 Days Grace's fourth studio album, marked a pivotal point for the band because it was their last album with Adam Gontier on lead vocals. After that, I kind of lost interest in 3 Days Grace, to be honest. It wasn't the same for me. The band went downhill after Adam left, if you ask me. This album went less than gold in the US, sold less than 500,000 copies, but reached number 5 on the US Billboard 200 charts, so pretty good performance. Gave us the singles Chalk Outline, The High Road, and Misery Loves My Company. The full track listing goes Sign of the Times, Chalk Outline, The High Road, Operate, Anonymous, Misery Loves My Company, Give In To Me, Happiness, Give Me a Reason, Time That Remains, Expectations, Broken Glass, and Unbreakable Hearts. My favorite song off Transit of Venus would be Chalk Outline. How can you not love that song? And my least favorite song, Operate. Okay, next up we got some Trapped, Only Through the Pain. This album came out in 2008. It was Trapped's fourth studio album overall. It has not been certified gold yet, sadly. Had the singles Who's Going Home With You Tonight, Contagious, and Black Rose. Full track listing is in super tiny font. Wasteland, Who's Going Home With You Tonight, Contagious, Black Rose, Ready When You Are, Forget About the Rain, Cover Up, Only One in Color, Wherever She Goes, Curiosity Kills, and The Last Tear. So from those 11 tracks, as my absolute favorite, I picked Only One in Color, and my least favorite song, the one I like the least, Ready When You Are. Never be ready for that. Next, we got 12 Stones, Beneath the Scars. A massively underrated album, in my opinion. If you haven't listened to Beneath the Scars, I highly recommend it. It came out in 2012. It was 12 Stone's fourth studio album. Went less than gold in the US. The lead singer, you'll notice right away, sounds incredibly similar to John Cooper from Skillet. Maybe they're doppelgangers. I don't know. Or maybe, I have a theory, maybe they bribed John Cooper with Dr. Pepper to secretly lay down his vocals for this album. Who knows? So, this album had the singles Bulletproof, Worlds Collide, Infected, and Psycho. The full track listing goes Infected, Bulletproof, For the Night, Worlds Collide, That Changes Everything, The One Thing, Blind, I'm With You, Bury Me, Psycho, Only Human, Someone Like You, Shine on Me, and Pretty Poison. I chose Infected as my favorite song off this album. And for my least favorite song, I picked That Changes Everything. Okay, the very bottom of the pile, last but not least, we have Wilson, Right to Rise, another underrated band. Massively underrated, criminally underrated. They're a super heavy band that unfortunately broke up in 2019, so we won't be getting any new music from them. Another band I highly recommend you go check out if you haven't listened to them before. I think you'll be impressed by what you hear. Anyway, Wilson's Right to Rise was released in 2015, their second studio album. It sold less than 500,000 copies in America, had no singles, not from what I could tell. The full track listing is Right to Rise, the title track, Guilty, You're Already Dead, Crave, Windows Down, All My Friends, Satisfy Me, The Flood, Hang with the Devil, I Am the Fly, Give 'Em Hell, Waiting for the World to Cave In, and Before I Burn. Out of those, I would say my favorite song is Guilty, You're Already Dead, and my least favorite song, Before I Burn. So, that will do it for my CD collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments what CDs you own. I'd really like to hear that. So that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.